What's up, folks? Welcome back to the Charm City Heavyweights podcast, brought to you by Great Eights Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. Looks like I'm flying solo for a few minutes here. Don't know what's going on with my usual sidekick, and I've kept you guys waiting for about an hour. I apologize for that. And this shit was heartbreaking. I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to do a show, man. That was probably the most heartbreaking Ravens game I've ever sat through in my entire life. I've been a fan of this franchise since they got here. I was 8 years old, 7 years old when they got here. I've sat through some pretty shitty Ravens seasons and Ravens games. 2011, the Cundiff kick. 2006, the Indy playoff game. 2019, with the 14-2 team, same shit. Got rolled by a team that wanted it more. Even last year, losing in the playoffs to an arguably worse team by 7 with a fumble on the 1. This shit is heartbreaking, man. Like it's crazy. If you would have told me that this would have been the end of our season, the way this season ended was absolutely atrocious. I don't know what the hell got into this coaching staff. It seems like every time they go up against Reed and Mahomes, they completely change who they are just to get into a blowout, just to get into a showdown. You scored damn near 30 points a game the entire year. You put up over 30 in the playoffs last weekend. And then you want to go out and make Lamar look crazy. He has a lot to blame for this, but at what point do you start blaming your coaches for this awful mess? Why is Harbaugh infallible to what is going on? This is the second straight year that we have had a collapse in the playoffs. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. It's hard to even put into words how infuriating it is to where we dominate everybody, and you dominate by running the ball and playing tough defense, taking a couple shots down the field on offense once you've established the run. And then you go and you drop back 82% of the fucking snaps on the field. You run the ball with your running backs who have been running well all year long. You run 8 run plays by design, 6 of them with your running backs. Gus Edwards' first carry from scrimmage was 13 yards, and you did not let him touch the ball again. Justice Hill played an amazing season for us, and then you still don't run the ball. The Chiefs had the 27th ranked defense for the run in the NFL. At a 32, they were 27th, and you ran the ball 8 times the entire game. It's fucking crazy to me how you do this. I was beside myself watching this game. It felt like 2019 all over again. It felt like 2011 all over again, because quite like that 2011, 2012 iteration of the team, this team is never going to be assembled like this again. You are going to have coaching staff turnover, you're going to have a front office turnover, and you are going to lose probably close to a third of your playmakers to free agency. Let's just get it out there, because I got nothing but time to kill right now. The Chargers just hired Joe Ortiz from the front office. He's their new general manager. he's going to take people with him that are going to get promotions out in LA. Mike Macdonald is probably going to be the next head coach of the Washington Commanders. If we don't hire Anthony Weaver to be our defensive coordinator and give him a promotion, like a bump up from line coach, he may go with him down 95. Chuck Smith, he could go to Los Angeles. You never know. They don't need to help with their pass rush with Bosa and Khalil Mack, but with the wonders he did with our 30 and over crew, I wouldn't blame him if he got a promotion and left. This right here was your window. The Roquan Smith contract now comes into effect. The Lamar Jackson extension now comes into effect. You got Ronnie Stanley, you've got Marlon Humphrey, you've got Morgan Moses, you've got Marcus Williams, who were all eating a significant portion of your cap to the point where if you cut any of them loose, you're going to be eating a lot of dead money. I don't think they want to let go of Marlon, even though it wouldn't shock me if it happened. You might have to extend him and kick the can down the road a couple of years for this money to situate itself. We have 25 free agents that contributed to this football team this year, and we have $14 million in cap space. That doesn't add up to me at all. Out of all your free agents, you got Justin Madubuike, who just came off of a career year, Jadeveon Clowney, career year, Geno Stone, career year, Patrick Queen, career year. Do I need to keep going? Absolutely not. I don't need to keep going. This is where the rubber meets the road. You're going to have to make a lot of tough decisions. This team is going to be young. It's going to be inexperienced. You're going to have to build your entire offensive line from scratch. If you move on from Ronnie, you move on from Morgan. Tyler Linderbaum might be the only returning starter for the 2024 season. That's a wild concept when you have a $260 million quarterback entering the first year or the second year of his 5-year, $262 million extension. Linderbaum might be the only returning starter. And you're going to have to rebuild that entire offensive line. You're going to have to rebuild the secondary, at least the cornerbacks. The safety, Kyle Hamilton's not going anywhere. He's a lifelong Raven. He was the best player on the field yesterday. Him and Roquan Smith far and away the best player on the field. I'm going to get to the game in a minute. But when you look at the construct of this team, there's no way anybody can reasonably expect that this team is going to look anywhere similar to the 2023 version of this team. You just can't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to. The money doesn't make sense. The money doesn't make sense. You got 25 free agents. You got $14 million. If you count the 51-man roster, you got 6. It's absolute insanity. I got somebody to share my plate, even though he's a known Eagles fan. It's my boy Roosevelt. He's one of the main commenters on the show. That's my man right here. Rose, what's up, bro? I still can't hear you yet, but I'm gonna keep on talking anyway. I'm freestyling this shit tonight. Yeah, you got so many people that you're not gonna be able to bring back. You think Clowney's coming back here on a 1-year deal for $2 million after having 10 sacks? You think that Kyle Van Noy's going to come back here for $2 million after having 9 sacks? Do you think Madubuike is going to play on the tag? Come on. Patrick Queen's gone. I want everybody that's listening. Patrick Queen is not going to be a Raven after last night. He is gone. Geno Stone is not going to be a Raven. He is gone. Jadeveon Clowney is going to get paid somewhere else. He is gone. It's insanity for people to think that this is going to happen. And I want to talk about the goddamn game now. I'm tired of talking about who's going to be leaving. The shit's insanity. It's absolute insanity. What's up, Rose? You good? Okay. So here's the thing. You hold Patrick Mahomes to 17 points at home in the bank. Mahomes scores no points in the second half. You hold him scoreless in the second half and you lose. If you would have told me that Patrick Mahomes scored 17 points on the road in Baltimore, you would ask how bad did they lose? Patrick Mahomes didn't do shit in the second half. They had barely 100 yards. I don't even think they had 100 yards in the second half of the entire game. How do you have the number one rushing attack in the NFL and you don't run the ball on this shitty defense? It blows my goddamn mind how you just it's almost like they were deliberately coaching themselves out of this game. I don't understand. You have the means to run all over these people and you don't do it. You don't do it. I don't get it. You have a 240-pound bowling ball of a running back who scored 13 touchdowns this year. 13 touchdowns. And still it happens. You don't run them. Lamar Jackson ran for 100 fucking yards last week. And what do? You have him drop back almost 85% of the offensive snaps. It's insane. Lamar Jackson, you would have thought that game plan was for Tom Brady last night. In what universe does Lamar Jackson drop back 85% of the passes plays in this offense? Rose, what's going on, brother?
Hey, I had to just go ahead and try to download the app. This prepaid internet shit ain't going to really run too well. So we got a little bit of time. We good now. What's happening?
Yeah. The absolute audacity of this coaching staff blows my mind. That they come up with these cliche bullshit answers in the post game, like that's how the game went. That game was within reach multiple times. If you would have started running the ball on those dudes, there was no fucking way that they were going to be able to hang with us. You run the ball to open up the pass. That's what this entire offense was based on the entire year. Rose, you're an Eagles fan and you know that.
Yeah, we did the same shit. So I definitely understand what you're talking about. We went from running the ball all crazy and not running at all. We dropping back Jalen Hurts throwing 35 times a game, running off of scrambling and all that. We started doing some weird shit. But yesterday for y'all, and I like the Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson. That was nasty. But me and you talk. I got my own feelings about what went on yesterday. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a whole different rabbit hole, and that can take this show into a completely different direction.
Yeah, but that not running the football was crazy.
It's nasty work. That's what it was. It was straight up nasty work. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you lead the league in rushing, and you can go into this game. The first series of the game, they punched us in the mouth. Instead of running the offense that you know is your bread and butter, you want to sit there and do under center 7 and 12 step dropbacks. When has Lamar done that all year long? He's thrown out of the shotgun. He's thrown out of the pistol. And then on top of that, this is the game where Ronnie Stanley and Morgan Moses decide, hey, I don't feel like blocking tonight.
I'm not blocking the soul.
Getting that man.
I'm not blocking shit.
Running for his life.
I'm not blocking nothing. Not today. This is not the day to block.
This is not the day where you want to deviate from your game plan. If this is done in week 8, I understand, but this is the AFC Championship game. These dudes
feel like we're going to try something different. We feel like we're going to go. We got a different approach for this week. We want to play with Pat Mahomes, do what he did. Have Lamar run around, throw the ball. We want to make it
Nobody can do that. Nobody can do what Mahomes does. He's one of one.
It was
And
awful, man.
what's crazy though, Rose, is they got into our heads before the game even started.
Yeah, we can say that, but the defense made the adjustment. Like they had 60 yards all second half last night. So the
They
defense made the
did.
adjustment. So that I mean, it's just the offense. We just gonna try to keep playing. We gonna do whatever. Just fuck it. Go out there, throw the ball. Show them you got an arm. And it's raining a little bit too.
And it started raining a lot a bit in the second half. And it's like the defense wakes up and holds Mahomes to under 100 yards, 60 yards in the second half. The entire offense doesn't do shit for Kansas City. And instead of running the ball and establishing a run, you decide that you're going to keep throwing the ball. The Kansas City Chiefs have the best deep ball secondary in the NFL. You can't throw 25 yards down the field on these dudes.
They had that shit on. They was locking that shit up. Especially when they was showing like nobody was really. You know how when you watching it on TV, and a lot of people don't understand, when you watching it on TV, you only can see so much. But when they show that replay, you see motherfucker nobody's down there open. You wonder why is he standing back there? Okay, we just gonna contain him, keep him in the pocket, but y'all do what y'all gotta do all the way behind us. That line was just,
and we did it to a
let's
T.
send everybody downfield. Go 40 yards downfield.
They took that linebacker Chanel, the white dude, Leo Chanel, and they had him roam sideline to sideline 5 yards deep the entire game to mitigate Lamar running.
What was so nasty, these idiots never turned around and hand the ball off to the running backs. What the fuck you got Dalvin Cook for? I think when y'all picked up Dalvin Cook, I said, oh, these motherfuckers is not playing. They're going to run on everybody, and you're not going to stop them. What the fuck you grab him for?
And he didn't even see the field.
Gus barely saw the field.
Cook. Damn Dalvin Cook. Gus Edwards carried the ball for 13 yards his first run.
Let me ask you a question. Did we see this happen before? Like, I'm not even being funny. Like, I feel like I watched the game where Gus Edwards did not get the ball. And was that another playoff game?
It was 2019.
Okay.
It was 2019, and that was the game where Lamar had almost 500 all-purpose yards because he was running.
Yeah. So
and we didn't run the ball with our running backs.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping because it's not like we didn't see that shit before.
And it was last year too. Instead of giving Gus the ball on the 1 yard line against the Cincinnati Bengals, you let Tyler Huntley, who can't do a quarterback sneak to save his life,
over the top,
jumped over the fucking pile.
Like he was Cam Newton.
My fucking God.
He looked like Cam Newton out there.
And it was like,
hold up, Trick. I'm listening.
It's just crazy to me how you predicated your entire offense around being a dominant physical running team, and you don't run the ball. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, there's no way in the world that John Harbaugh, as the head coach, is allowing this shit to happen. There has to come a point in time where you got to hold John Harbaugh accountable. You got a headset on. Look up in the fucking sky. Look up in the stadium and look at this dude. Why are you calling pass play after pass play after pass play? We punted the ball like 7 fucking times last night. You're throwing the ball on second and 3, 3rd and 1. You got a 240-pound running back that if he hits the line of scrimmage, he's falling forward for 3 yards.
Nobody wants anything to do with Gus Edwards.
At all. In the open field, he's dragging dudes. I'm not saying he's an elite running back because I think he's
good for what he does, bro. He's good for what he does, man. He's not gonna be flashy. I'm just gonna do I'm gonna run through you, and you're gonna have to stop me. Like I might not catch it out the backfield, but you get this motherfucker to me, I'm gonna run your ass over. But this man, once again, in the playoffs, ain't get the ball. But, I got my own feelings about all of this, player. Like, it's sickening.
Now, I know that me and you have been talking. Me and you have been constantly talking since last night after the game. Mm-hmm. And you and I have a little bit of a differing opinion on the blame of Lamar.
I won't
I
say.
don't blame them.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay. I'll let you. I'll give you the floor in a second.
Mm-hmm.
He did what he could do given the play call. I don't know why he wasn't situationally aware of the fact that he could have audible to run plays when he deemed it necessary. If he's got that much control of the offense, you can audible. He's been doing it all year. I don't know why he wasn't doing it now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
um, um, so that's different to me. That is understandable to a degree, but with Lamar not sensing his internal clock to step up in the pocket and throw the ball, the strip sack could have been avoided if Ronnie Stanley would have held that man for another half second because he was going to get rid of that ball. Zay Flowers was open 40 yards downfield. They showed the replay.
But that's
He's
the
always been
variable right there, though. That's the variable.
that's the variable.
If was a fifth, we all be drunk. This fool didn't hold the man for less. He hiked the ball. Next thing you know, you see Ronnie here turning like that. He looking. He like, oh shit, they about to go get him.
Right. And that was understandable to a degree because the line didn't hold.
Mm-hmm.
The interception.
It was nasty.
It was nasty. Okay.
It was nasty.
Full disclosure, that was pass interference. The play before that with Likely was pass interference. I hate putting the game in the ref's hands, but that's where we were watching the game. Me and you talked about it during the game how sick this refereeing bullshit has gotten. It's absolutely obvious that they're refereeing for Vegas and not for these individual games. But I'm not going to go there either. But he threw in a triple coverage.
He did.
Run. You could have ran the ball. You could have dumped it off to whatever running back was on the field. You forced the ball downfield, 6 minutes left, 2 timeouts. The defense at that point had been on the field for 34 minutes.
Good Lord.
Out of the 50 minutes, they had been on the field for 34 minutes of the game.
Good Lord. And they didn't score a point in the second half. It's a hell of a defense, buddy.
And the thing is, people are saying this is a hell of a defense, which you are saying yourself. I'm saying it. Now you've run into the problem that Washington and Seattle saw Mike McDonald shut down Patrick Mahomes in the second half, making adjustments. You don't think they're going to offer him a head coaching job? He's as good as gone. He's going down 95, bro. And then he's going to take whoever with him. Patrick Queen might go down there. He might slide down there for some money. Or Matt Abike if we can't get a long-term agreement with him. The ramifications of this loss is probably going to end up being the greatest loss in the history of our franchise. Point blank, period. It's absolutely insane how nobody realizes that this was the end of this iteration of a dominant Ravens team as we know it.
It was pretty dominant, man. But I feel like the Ravens will figure it out as far as on the defense. For some reason, they got to be one of the best team ever at getting defensive players, and these guys turning to animals on that culture they got for the Ravens is crazy on defense. I mean, people talked about Patrick Queen so bad since he got drafted, but it showed that he had a little bit of help. Somebody can let him just run wild, do what he do. He can be a good player. They did a good job by grabbing Roquan Smith, so I think the defense would be fine. It's just figure out what you really want to do.
You're going to have to rely on the guys you drafted next year. You're not going to be able to afford Darby to come back for a year. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to bring back Brock Ya-Sin, and if Marlon doesn't come back, you're going to have to draft a cornerback early. And now your number one cornerback is going to be Brandon Stevens, and you got Kyle Hamilton at safety. So you're cool there. But now you're going to have to play these young dudes you drafted 2-3 years ago. Now you got to throw them into the fire. And let's not forget that Pittsburgh's going to go find themselves a quarterback.
Hell yeah.
Joe Burrow is coming back.
told you who I think they might get, and it'd be crazy.
Justin
I think
Fields.
they not even just him. I was thinking they'd do something with Russell Wilson. Like,
Right. That's a possibility right there in itself. Then you got Deshaun Watson coming back healthy next year. He torched us. And Joe Burrow's coming back next year. This is not a guarantee. This everything aligned this year for the Ravens to do damage. Joe Burrow got
yeah,
hurt. Shoddy quarterback play in Pittsburgh. Deshaun Watson going down and the Browns getting knocked out in the wild card round.
yeah.
Everything aligned. Everything aligned. You got a Houston Texans team that wasn't used to the playoffs, young squad. Then you go and get. Then you pray that we get Buffalo, and instead of getting Buffalo, you get Mahomes, who's been to his 6th straight AFC Championship game with the shittiest offense he's ever had. And what happens? You hold him to 17. Every time, Ruse, you've watched every Ravens game, even though that's not your team. You still watch every game.
Well, I'm definitely gonna watch my man the Lamar show.
Right, but the
People
thing
who
is,
know me know that I'm gonna watch.
but the thing is, you tune into this show every single episode. I mean, that's not just because we're boys, but you actually comment and you engage. So you watch the games. When we hold teams to 17, it's like 31-17, 34-17, 56-19.
It'd be an ass whooping.
It's ass whooping all written all over it. So when if you would have told somebody that watched the Ravens but didn't watch that game, they held Patrick Mahomes to 17 points at home, you would say the Ravens must have put up 35, 40 points. They put up 10. I told my bastards
aunt
put up 10 fucking points.
I told my aunt on Saturday that I felt like the Ravens should beat the shit out of them. Technically, they shut that man down in the second half. It's just that other part of their team, like, I don't know what that was. That was not cool. What went on? 60 yards in 2 quarters? And you motherfuckers turning the ball over and everything. It's turnovers and everything. They only had 60 yards.
Pacheco was hyped up the entire week being this dominant, hard runner. Yeah. Pacheco did nothing against us. He did nothing. They smothered the run game. And what's even crazier is that on all 3 turnovers the Ravens had, at all 3 turnovers, they scored 0 points on turnovers.
It's crazy.
We held them to 3 and out on 2 out of the 3 drives, I believe. What more can you ask the defense to do? This felt like you're watching almost like an early 2000s Ravens game where the defense is holding these teams to next to nothing and the offense can't score. I'm sitting there going crazy. I'm wondering why he's only throwing to Zay Flowers. We haven't even talked about Zay. I've been on the screen we've been on the screen half an hour, and I haven't even talked about Zay yet. Zay played a very good game. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna preface that by saying 115 yards, dude was good. That fumble at the end at the goal line, that was a fantastic play by the dude Snead. That is textbook puncture tackling football where you go in and punch the ball.
That was crazy.
That was textbook. And Harbaugh even said in the postgame, he teaches his ball carriers and pass catchers to extend the ball across the goal line. He did just that. It was just perfect timing by the defender. I can't get mad at that. Was I pissed off? Yes. Can't get mad at it. The taunting penalty, that pissed me off because the thing is, I'm not mad that he did it because the dude had his leg wrapped up.
Yeah, he had his leg locked up.
Here's where me and you had the difference though, Ruse, when we were texting each other. He had his leg locked up. It was chippy all game. But being a NFL wide receiver, you see how the referees are calling this game. They're letting Kansas City, number 87 in particular. I don't even want to talk about that douchebag. 87 in particular is getting away with every possible thing you can get away with in terms of taunting and jeering and instigating in arguments. And then you decide that you're going to spin the ball and stand over the dude. You're going to get called for that 100% of the time. You got to have situational awareness.
That was crazy. And I'm gonna just base that off of, like, I know it's cliche to say that he's young. He's a rookie, bro. Like he ain't never played on those stages like that. But I'm gonna say on the Chiefs part, that's championship football. I'm gonna get you. I know I get you ticked off. I'm gonna just grab your leg a little bit. You're gonna react to it. They were doing that shit all game. Travis Kelce, um, he instigated that whole shit with Van Noy, and then pointed at the ref, pointed at yeah, got you.
Right. But the thing is,
you gotta lock in.
Kelce got in their head in pre-games, tossing Justin Tucker shit in warm-ups.
That was dirty. That was dirty.
It was nasty work with mind games. But the thing is that pissed off everybody so bad that it got in their heads. But what I'm saying,
Andy Reid know what to do, bro.
They all do. That's why they've been there 6 straight years. That's why they're on their 5th Super Bowl in 6 years. These dudes are the new Patriots. This is a dynasty that we were going up against, and you saw it play out. Now, I'll say this. I don't know what was going on with the rest of our pass catchers. I saw a couple comments today. I wanted to ask you, do you think Mark Andrews coming back messed up the rhythm of the offense with Isaiah Likely?
It probably did. Probably make Likely feel some type of way. Mentally, I think so. But I don't remember seeing Mark. Was he out there that much?
He wasn't. He was on a snap count.
I think he's still hurt, bro. I think he tried to hurry up and come back.
Yeah. He probably shot that ankle up with a little bit of cortisone to go out there and ball.
Might not have been enough. He should have went down. Never mind. But
it
wasn't enough.
But what I'm saying is, all they saw was Zay, number four. Now, I said this on Facebook, and a lot of people agree with me. You wait until there's 8 minutes left in the football game before you start throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. I'm not saying Odell was going to change the entire dynamic of the game if you started throwing to him earlier, but let's just call it how it is. He's not that same dude he was 10 years ago. We all know that.
Right.
But you have the opportunity to throw the deep corner ball, the deep sideline ball to Odell. Mm-hmm. If he's not going to catch it, what is he going to do, Bruce?
He at least going to get a pass in the front and knock somebody out.
A spot foul on pass interference is just as good as a catch.
I feel like this, though, with the whole OBJ thing. Y'all paying him so much money for 1 year. You better throw him that fucking ball. Prove to somebody that he ain't the same. That's how I feel. If you gonna pay him that much money for 1 year, prove that he ain't worth it. Throw him that fucking ball. You got Bateman and them dropping passes.
Right.
What's the worst he can do?
I mean, you involved Nelson Aguilar, your boy Nelson Aguilar. You involved him against the Texans, and then you forget about him.
Did he drop a pass though?
He did. He dropped one, but the thing is, you're so focused on Zay, and you're so focused on putting the ball downfield, and in the midst of all this, you're not even running the ball, and you're going 3 and out. You're throwing interceptions. You're punting. You're, getting strip sack fumbles, and it's like, where they should. This is that they're making September mistakes in February, in January. That was a completely unacceptable situation in itself. But I say all that to say this. Let's circle back to the fact that this is the same MO that John Harbaugh has had since his last Super Bowl appearance. He has escaped fallibility because of his win-loss percentage. You and I both know. We've been talking about this for years, Ruse. We've known each other 20 years. And
that's sick.
A little bit more. 21 years this year, bro.
Yeah.
2003. If we don't draft Lamar, 2018, John Harbaugh gets fired.
You're right. He saved his job.
He saved everybody's job. He saved Ozzy's job. He saved Harbaugh's job.
I honestly don't think, like, I'm like looking at things. I think the Ravens are like how Pittsburgh is. We're not just about to keep having a bunch of coaches running in and out of here. They give motherfuckers leashes. I know you probably want him fired, but Lamar has showed up. It gave him an extra 6 years.
But here's what I'm saying. I'm not asking them to fire him. I've been on that train before, and the thing is, as much as I want new blood as the head coach of the Ravens, he's not going anywhere. I'm aware of that. He has one of the highest winning percentages. He's the second longest tenured head coach in the NFL behind Tomlin. He constantly wins football games for the franchise as the head coach. But at what point is he going to start having some blame? The clock management issues, the challenging issues, the game management. Not
going for it on fourth down.
He went from in 2 weeks, he went from letting his coordinators do their thing and he laid back to now when shit's not going right and you're scoring 7 fucking points in 3 quarters in the biggest game in Baltimore Ravens history, you decide, I'm just going to let this keep on going. How do you let that keep going, bro? You don't hop on the fucking headphone or the headset and be like, hey, Todd, what do you call some run plays? You're the head coach. Make the adjustment.
I want to say why it's going on so bad. Why I feel like it's going on so bad. I just want to say it. Like,
speak your mind.
You know what I'm going to say, bro.
But the thing is, nobody else is going to know. Speak your mind.
This shit is fixed.
It's hard not to see it.
Yo, it's no way in hell. Take the emotion of being a fan out of it when it comes to playoffs. Just take the emotion of, take a gambler's mindset. A gambler's not fucking betting on his favorite team just because that's my favorite team to win. No, I'm not. But think about it. You motherfuckers have seen Taylor fucking Swift since what, week 3?
Yep.
She popped out like week 3, week 4 when they was out there getting their heads knocked off, not looking good. This bitch has been, this lady has been on the damn screen more than anybody on the field. And I've listened to Shannon Sharp talk to Ocho. This fool going to say, they always show celebrities. Yeah, they're at the Laker game, they're panning around. You see Jack Nicholson, but not every time LeBron ducks the fucking ball. We don't see Savannah every time LeBron shoots a shot. We might see her once a game or nothing at all. We're not seeing her. So don't say that. They showed this girl every timeout, every fucked up pass, every catch he made when he was dropping, every time he scored, they got a swag surfing. This motherfucker is a dancing machine now. What are we talking about? They had some number up there. At first, that little post you sent us in the group with 331 million or some shit. I thought that was some made up shit until they put it on like Bleacher Report. Bro, if you're gonna have that much money, you got people watching football that's a fan of hers that hasn't watched a football game in their life, and they know about Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift. They're watching it to see Taylor Swift. People buying suites at that Ravens game for fans who want to be that close to Taylor Swift. You're not telling me you were not about to tell these motherfuckers, and the NFL was out here bidding with different networks and streaming service or whatever they doing, playing games overseas. Taylor Swift is a fucking international superstar. Why not let them go ahead and win? We about to get paid, goddammit. We're about to get paid. We're about to have fans. Let him propose to her at when they raise the trophy. I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. You're gonna be sick to your stomach. Let him go ahead and do that.
And it's like, I'm looking at this and I'm a conspiracy theorist about a lot of shit because
let me finish.
I drive you crazy with a lot of it.
Let me finish. So you got all that going on, the money aspect of it. Lamar Jackson just ran for 5,000 yards last week against the Texans. It was 2 degrees outside. It's raining this week. Why are we not running the ball? Why does Gus Edwards get 6 carries?
He didn't even get 6. He got 3.
Excuse me, 3 carries. That's even worse. What are we talking about here? You motherfuckers have been. I'm glad we didn't play all this shit. Y'all would have fucked up my man AJ Brown leg like he got fucked up in that last game. I'm not even gonna get into that shit. Like, y'all were knocking people's heads off and running wild on the field. You can't stop the run, then I'm gonna throw the ball over your head. Oh, I'm gonna get Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna run through 5 or 6 different people to get stop from getting sacked to end up getting 15 yards. We ain't see none of that shit last night. That ain't a coincidence.
It's
Come on, bro.
almost hard not to believe it.
You know how many people about to watch this fucking Super Bowl in that big ass stadium out Las Vegas? And who's about to watch? Taylor Swift is at the Super Bowl. When the last time you heard about Usher performing at halftime?
Didn't even they had 2 commercials yesterday.
It was the Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid show all day.
All day long. They
Lamar,
played more.
You got your MVP, Lamar. You're not getting the MVP this year, going to the Super Bowl and running the MVP. We might lose a couple of dollars. And I ain't gonna go there. We about to capitalize on all this money.
They couldn't have Baltimore and Detroit fans up in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Hell no. You saw what fucking Campbell did. That was just crazy. You went for it once.
Another situation, bro. I don't want to speak on the NFC game, but
hey, bro.
Detroit's up 24-7 at the half, and they give up 20 unanswered points.
How many states got sports betting?
Almost all of them.
But how many off the top of your head? I don't know the number. I don't want to say no.
I'm
at least about 15, right?
At least 15, 20, yeah.
It's only 50 fucking states. Every state don't have a football team.
You're right.
Once you got everybody that don't have to go to the casino physically, you know what I'm saying? I can put this fucking Patrick Mahomes for 5,000 yards this season. I'm going to put 2,000 on it. And you can do that shit from here, right here in your hand, and I can get my money right here safely.
The league is showing that they care about drawing in the viewership, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
It's about the money.
It's about money because now the Super Bowl usually garners 30, 40 million viewers for the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's on every household on Sunday, whether you're having a party or not. Super Bowl Sunday, it might just be playing in the background. Some people watch it for the commercials.
Right.
You know, you still got that sector of people. But now you're going to have Taylor Swift fans. My daughter is a Swiftie.
I seen that crazy shirt. You got Taylor Swift on the Ravens shirt. You're a bad man. I give it to you. You Father of the Year for that shirt. You said you can like that motherfucker, but you're not going to wear no Chiefs shirt. That's what we draw.
Exactly.
Put this Ravens shirt on and call it a day. Yeah, that was cool, bro.
And thank you. But now you're going to have little 4, 5, 6-year-old Swifties that are now going to be telling their mom and dad, "Hey,
turn that game on.
Turn the game on. I want to sit there and see Taylor." And what's crazy is she's going to be in Japan the weekend of the Super Bowl. They're 17 hours behind us. She's going to fly in for the game, bro. And then she's going right back on tour. She ain't missing the Super Bowl. You think Roger Goodell did all this shit and she ain't going to make it?
Genius.
It's impeccable. Genius. I'm not even mad at it right now. Like I'm in my feelings about the game because I haven't been to work since yesterday. I was off today.
So you took the day off. Them Ravens kicked your ass that bad. You had to take that day off.
I was off a month ago for this. I had something to do with Aubrey at school. But yeah, I know my feeling all over again. There's a ton of people I work with that are not Ravens fans, and they're going to be on my ass tomorrow. So I'm about to relive this shit and talk about it all over again. Hey, but I'm telling you this though, man. It's almost comical how everything that ever worked for us and everything that's worked for us from September, Labor Day weekend, September, all the way up to the middle of January, and they just deviated. They deviated everything that they've ever done to get to this point, they went away from it. Ruse, I'll never understand it, bro. This is gonna hurt a long time for a lot of our fans.
Oh,
Shit,
it's awful. A lot of people went broke this weekend too.
Yeah, and
a lot
here's
of
the
people
thing.
went broke, man.
Ruse, I was listening to the radio on the way to Aubrey School today, and there's people calling into the local 105.7 The Fan, and they're bitching they dropped $3 grand, $4 grand, $7 grand on a pair of seats, and you saw the worst Ravens offensive performance in the playoffs since 2006.
That was it. And that's the part that's fucked up. That's the part. And I just want to say this. I don't want nobody to think I'm some type of conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I just feel like I got common sense, and I just can go off of what I see. So I don't want you to think I'm just spewing some rhetoric that's some random crazy person, because I'm not. I just think that if we're gonna do this kind of shit, throw games, just clean it up a little bit. Make me get excited. You got motherfuckers spending a lot of money to go down that game to see that. I told you I went to the Eagles game against the Cardinals, and that had to be one of the worst games that they played. I felt bad for my sister for treating me and my brother-in-law down that motherfucker. But I still had a good time. But they got their asses handed to. That game was, to see it in person, I'm not even gonna get it. It just was nasty. It was nasty work. So
I was texting you during the game, checking to make sure you were okay.
I just was like, yo, I can't believe we go all the way out this motherfucker. Y'all, first of all, some of them shouldn't even been playing, even though it was the Cardinals.
Right?
They shouldn't even been playing. Like, come on. And then if you're gonna go out there and do it like that, y'all didn't even look together. So that's a whole nother story. But I just feel like if we gonna play this game where the money matters, put out a better product. Put out a better product. Don't have an MVP go out there and play like that. Y'all not gonna run that football. Y'all called the man a running back. Y'all not gonna run the football at all.
It's insanity.
Y'all wanna make him look this crazy. There was no reason for any of that. And then try to run.
Speaking of the conspiracy, somebody equated this game to the 2011 Lee Evans drop, Billy Cundiff wide left miss. And then they're like, oh, well, the Ravens were, they beat the Texans the week before. They come out and they lose on a turnover. And a year later, they're raising the Lombardi trophy. And I'm like, okay.
I see that's how it's going to go?
Here's the thing. I'm sitting here telling you right now, I will not believe that this shit is not fixed or rigged in some form or fashion. If the Ravens are raising a Lombardi trophy in 2025.
If after that shit you just spewed, just like that, off of the Billy Cundiff thing, the Ravens win a Super Bowl next year, I want you to take the emotion out of these things, buddy. I don't need you out here having strokes and falling out and shit because you letting these motherfuckers piss you off.
Oh yeah,
if that go on next year,
you're absolutely right. Like, I couldn't talk yesterday after the game. I didn't get my voice back until about I'm probably gonna say after the Lions game. I couldn't talk. My wife's sitting there looking like, what's wrong with you? Like, she saw me screaming. The girls were upstairs at halftime. I was losing my mind. I had to apologize to my neighbor next door and all that shit. Like, I can't keep doing this shit to myself, bro.
You can't. It's not work, because you know why you can't really do that shit? Because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers can lose, win, and draw. They're gonna be good financially. Maybe they be mad they lose too, but they not gonna sit up here. They ain't gonna stress themselves out. I got a couple more years to play,
bro. Like, I'm sitting there. I made a post yesterday, and everybody thought it was funny, but it's true. Being a Ravens fan's like having Stockholm syndrome. They kidnap you, and you eventually feel sorry for them.
Yo,
and you put emotions into it. I'm sitting here losing my mind, and I took a lot of the emotion out of it last night, Ruse, when I went on Instagram Live and I saw Geno Stone and Marlon Humphrey up in the club partying.
See what I'm saying?
3 hours after losing the biggest Ravens game in history, our $20 million cornerback and a dude that ain't gonna be on this team no more are up in the club. And I get it. You got to blow off some steam because y'all lost. No, I hear you. They don't give a fuck the way we do.
Is that what it is? You just don't want to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
You'll feel better if you don't see it, right?
like don't sit there and pop bottles in the fucking club after you just went out there and the defense did their job. They did their job, but at the same time, the first AFC Championship game in Ravens history at the bank, the first AFC Championship game in Baltimore since 1970.
Good.
You had T-Pain and Shaq and Roy Jones Jr. and Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and John Ogden and Suggs and McAllister and Bolden.
Keep going.
And
Keep going.
You had
Keep going.
And you had
you know what this was? You know
Michael Phelps.
Do you know what this was? This was the Ravens Super Bowl. You just lost at your Super Bowl this week. You had a fucking. I seen a Navy guy flying into the stadium or something.
Yeah, you had B-12 bombers dropping dudes in the game.
This was the Super Bowl. I know the fireworks was going crazy down the bank. I know it was crazy down the bank. Y'all had the fucking tailgate on tilt out that bitch.
Yeah.
So this was the city Super Bowl, and it's fucked up how it went. I would have if the Ravens gonna lose like that, I would have rather it look good. But then I guess you can't fake it that much. We're gonna run all over you. So we just go a whole different direction. All I'm saying is, if you're gonna do it like this, do it like wrestling. In wrestling, they know who's gonna win the match, right? You rehearse with the story.
They make it entertaining, though. I watch the shit.
But I'm gonna make this shit look. You gonna think the Rock is about to win the chance, knowing this motherfucker about to go do a movie. He gonna put on that much of a show for your ass to feel like got him back, just like that. Yeah, we gonna have a ball. T-Pain, they had a whole show down that motherfucker. Just put out a better product for the people. For people who went down there, because I wanted to go down there and watch that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. People who went down there and spent their hard-earned money to go see that shit, and you motherfuckers lose like that. At least lose with a little bit. Make it believable.
That was sucker shit.
Make it believable. Make it believable. I don't know. Whoever wrote that script, don't write no more scripts. That wasn't a good one. I didn't like that one. Not that one.
I mean, I feel like I'm on fucking,
I'm going to ask you again. How many times did the Ravens run the football? The whole game. And I'm not talking about scrambling runs. I'm talking about design runs.
8.
Run the ball 8 times. I understand in the beginning you ain't had the ball that much because they,
Lamar ran 11 times alone last week.
Come on, bro.
They ran the ball like 30-something times last week against arguably a faster defense. I'm looking at I know we're going back into the game, Ruse, and I'm looking at this Chiefs defense in the third quarter. Chris Jones is Superman, number one. 95 on the Chiefs. That is probably the best defensive lineman in the league. That man
was out there on one leg, man.
He's on one leg. The dude that had the strip sack fumble, he was out. Your linebackers are 5'10" and 215 pounds, and you're not running at them. They don't have a defensive lineman over 325 pounds. And you're telling me the same Ronnie Stanley and the same Morgan Moses that were pulling last week and bulldozing dudes 8 yards down the field couldn't do that last night?
Not tonight. This ain't y'all night. Take the night off. Hey, Lamar.
I'm looking at this. Like I'm sitting there. I'm texting my brother. I'm like, there's no way they're not running the ball. You cannot tell me there's any way they're running the ball right now. They're not. They're passing. And I said they're putting Lamar under center and having him take 12-step drops with the offensive line that can't block.
Have you ever seen him do that?
No, I have not.
He didn't even do that in college. And that was my man in college.
Here's what's crazy.
Them motherfuckers was out there in that shotgun going crazy in Louisville.
Here's the craziest part of that, Bruce. Here's the craziest part of that shit. The first play in the game, the first offensive play on the Ravens, they go heavy formation, and Lamar is under center. And I didn't even know he was under center until I squinted my eyes and I was like, where the fuck is Lamar? He's either in pistol or shotgun.
I'm listening.
And he's under center. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I start seeing him take 7-step and 12-step drops. And they get out of the pistol formation and they're not doing shotgun. They're not throwing pop passes to Likely and Aguilar and shit. Rashad Bateman don't get no looks. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then we punt like 7 times last night and shit. I think we punted 6 or 7 times. I'm like they're throwing the ball on 2nd and 3, on 3rd and 1. You got a batter, you got a 315-pound fullback who literally makes dudes, he crunches them. Me and you talk about
Project Pat.
Project Pat all the time. We're talking about him. Dude is a defensive tackle that runs like a wide receiver and hits like a Mack truck. He was on the field 43% of the snaps last week. He was barely on the field 20% of the snaps this week. What the fuck are you not using that dude for? He's the key to your run game. Your left guard sucks. Your left tackle ain't blocking today. Your right tackle ain't blocking today.
But
And
you
you
know, we
want to
always talked about Moses, though. I like Moses is crazy in the run, but in that pass protection,
Oh, it's bad,
he's
bro.
like, I can't handle this. These motherfuckers too
I can't.
fast.
Like if it wasn't so predictable, when we want to run the ball, put Moses out there, and when we want to pass the ball, put somebody else out there. But teams pick up on that quick. Like that dude. Remember the game that I texted you? I said, watch the replay of this run. Morgan Moses threw a defensive end into a linebacker.
Yeah, that, and he like, I guess he got to get his speed going.
Yeah,
Shit got to be moving for him to get active. But
you can't be a slow ass offensive tackle out there and wearing them gold cleats. So motherfucker, I'm gonna see you every single play, not moving your goddamn feet. You're wearing the Michael Jacksons out that bitch, and you're not moving your feet. Tell me I'm not crazy.
You're not. But all I want to say is, bro, I need Roger and them to put out a better product. If you're gonna let these people lose like that, if that's, I hate to be like that, but if that's what's gonna be down there, I seen tickets 7,000 up on the moon. If y'all gonna put that on the field for somebody to pay for, get them people that money back. Because that was crazy. That was crazy.
Here's what I feel bad about. All year long, you have Ravens faithful. You got all the Dundalkians in their fucking purple and black camo pants and their bucket hat to go with it, with their faded Ray Lewis jersey from 1998 and the bandanas to go with this shit. They're going to the games in September, October, November, December. And then you got the same tickets that you can buy for $85 a piece in the upper deck are going for $855. They're going for 10 times their amount. There's a dude that dropped 73 grand on 2 seats down in the sideline.
I saw that. He must got that cheese.
So I want to know where all these rich ass Ravens fans coming from. Because I know a lot of the people that went to this game, I know what y'all do for a living. There ain't no fucking way.
Credit cards, bro.
That to go into debt to watch the Ravens score 10 points.
If you spending 73,000, you gotta be playing with some numbers, man. Only I could just wish to touch a little bit of it. Right. That's 73,000 on one game. The fact that them tickets was added up to be.
I had to make sure that it wasn't Sam that went down there.
Sam probably was down there, man.
Yeah, skiing and hitting and going. Oh, see, there he is. Oh, he commented. I know.
I knew he was gonna start his ass. I can't even see no comments. That's funny as shit though.
No. I ain't gonna start because he's still paying attention. I was about to make a ski. I was about to make a ski joke.
Nah, leave my man alone, man. Leave him alone right now.
I'm gonna leave him alone. I was definitely about to go there, but yeah, man, it's like now I have to sit here as a Ravens fan and like it's gonna be Taylor Swift mania. It's gonna be Travis Kelce mania. It's gonna be,
and you gotta go to work and people gonna talk that shit to you. And on that aspect, I don't give a fuck about it. Because I'm trying to figure out when the Eagles and shit lose, why motherfuckers from the AFC calling me? I'm not bothering nobody. Calling me and laughing. And I sympathize when y'all get your
Hold up. Did you or did you not share the Ravens meme where Michael Jordan's crying face was in the face of the bird?
No, that was Sam that put that up there.
Oh, okay, that was him.
I didn't do that.
Okay,
Sam put that shit. I didn't do that. I don't even be bothering y'all because I watched the shit too. But I ain't had to watch the Eagles. So I had to watch. I just knew Lamar and them was going to get it done. Roger, if you watching, put a better product out, man. Make that shit believable. Please. Like y'all gotta stop with the dumb shit now, man. It's getting crazy.
See, Sam's a conspiracy theorist now after Bama got beat, and we gave him shit for 2 days. Now
he don't want to talk about shit.
Nope, he ain't talking about shit in a month.
And Saban retired. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, he's sick.
Sam about to become a fucking Maryland fan, man. You know, Tua's little brother go to Maryland. I know that's about to be his man. About to become a Maryland fan, man.
Yeah, that's true. And now I got to sit here for the next 2 weeks and pray to God that the Orioles fucking trade for somebody, so we're not going into the 23-24 season. I mean, the 24-25 season with the same team from last year.
You know how they do sometimes, though. They had another one. Remember when they had the O's when what was that year they had went to the playoffs for like the first time? I think Adam Jones and all of them was on that team.
It was like 2012 or something like that.
Remember when they went, and then after that, they ain't going no more playoffs.
They went to 2014, and then they decided that they were going to blow the whole thing up.
That's it. We gonna finish it off. That's it. Y'all gonna suffer for another fit.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on this. Like, I feel a lot better that I got a chance to get this shit off my chest. But it's like
you should.
But I'm just sitting here like I felt like I was.
You was bamboozled.
I was bamboozled, number one, and I really felt like I was watching myself watch this game in disbelief. Like I had an out-of-body experience. I'm sitting on the couch. Like the whole first half, I'm screaming, I'm standing, I'm pacing my living room, got the girls upset, they leave me alone. And then all of a sudden I sat down after halftime and I saw them come out. And I'm like, I have this calm come over me, like, okay, maybe we're about to do something. First drive, after they turn they punt to us, we go 3 and out, and I'm like, yo, they checked out. I sat there so upset. I was so pissed.
And then you saw them at the club popping bottles.
I'm
broke your heart, didn't it?
I'm oh my god, I wanted to fucking cry. I'm sitting there watching the Lions and the 49ers game. And then at that point, they had just tied it up. I'm like, yep, this is over. We already know how this is going to go. Like, I was hoping.
Like, I ain't going to lie, like, all jokes aside, watching that shit for the Ravens, I was sad, though. My man Lamar got to go through that, man. It just wasn't a good game.
And I'm gonna give you this analogy that I threw out there earlier on social media. Lamar Jackson is this generation's Dan Marino.
Dan Marino?
Hear me out. I'm not talking about the passing numbers. He had individual accolades. He won the MVP a couple of times. He was considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of his era, but he could never get to the Super Bowl.
Well, let's not put that on my man Lamar. Let's not.
But until he gets there, I was thinking he was Steve Young. I was thinking that he had to get that monkey off his back and he had to lead his team to the championship. And now I'm looking at the path. I'm like, we won 13 games this year. We had the first round bye. Everybody got the rest up. We go out there in the second half of the Texans game and we put it in an overdrive and we torched them and rode off to the championship game. Home game.
Lamar. I ain't gonna lie, that was impressive though. I know people like to say a lot of shit about, they played a rookie quarterback and all that. No, that was impressive because I'm sitting there watching like, oh shit, the Texans they not fucking around. Man, that second half they made them adjustments. Oh, okay. That's when I knew. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers they really not playing with people out here.
And then they go out the following week. You're down 10 at the half. And there should have been a light that popped on and been like, hey, let's start doing what we did last week and maybe we can get out of here with a field goal victory. It would have been pure comedic justice if Justin Tucker kicked the game-winning field goal on them whores yesterday.
Oh, that would have been real nice.
Especially after getting bullied by the KC douchebag duo. But it's like you really just forgot everything that got you there. And in the same breath, the coach just said, oh, that's how the game fell. Bullshit, bro. You
Yeah,
make $9 million a fucking year.
I watched that post game interview. I was like, damn.
I didn't. I turned that shit right
when
off.
the dude asked him about the running plays, when he said that answer, I said,
And
I saw
this right before we hopped on here, Rose. I looked at this screenshot. There's this chick on Twitter, Sarah Ellison. She works for a podcast for the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally quotes what John Harbaugh says about not running the ball. And somebody screenshot all the compilation of her saying the exact same shit that Harbaugh said. It was like 6 or 7 different games that we lost. And it's like, this dude really just has he must have like a fucking notepad of coachisms where he says a bunch of bullshit and he's not really saying anything at all.
Yo, it's called a script.
Yo, I don't care, bastard. I'm upset. Like, this dude has not taken accountability, and then they're gonna interview him out. They're gonna interview him right outside the locker room, and he's gonna say, "I told my guys that we played." Who are you lying to? We have eyes, you bastard. We have eyes. Who are you lying to? I'm surprised. See, I know for a fact that this Ravens team is different. Bernard would have tried to kill him if he'd have done that shit with that old Ravens team.
Damn, I forgot he coached them too. He
coached gangsters for the first 5 years.
Yeah, he's been in there for a minute.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I texted Bernard today. I said, bro, I'm sick about this game. And you know what this man had the audacity to say to me? And I knew he was going to say it. I was just preparing myself. He's like, y'all call me crazy for talking shit about Lamar, but at the end of the day, he's the guy you paid. He's the guy you put on your back. And this is what happens. He's like, your coach. He's like, that same coach that we had to have a mutiny against did the exact same shit that he's been doing the last 5 years. And I'll be damned. I was so upset. I stopped texting him. I said, I'll holler at you later, BP.
You cut the combo off.
I stopped talking for a minute. I love BP, man, but that shit hurt my soul.
Broke your heart, didn't it?
All over again. I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have texted him. See, if I text Dan Wilcox, he's gonna talk ball with me. Bernard's gonna be unfiltered off the cuff talking shit to me. And it's shit I need to hear. Bro, I was so convinced. And I ran this roundtable that you watched on Thursday night, bro. And I'll give you your props. You participate in all of my lives. You won my John
Ogden having picture. Some nice prizes, man. And I know some of them Ravens questions. I used to go to the games as a kid. This is why I stopped being a Ravens fan, because y'all had Mark Brunell come down here and get buck wild back in them 90s. The motherfuckers was throwing that ball.
Stop it.
They was having a ball, and we weren't doing that. Ravens wasn't doing that.
But the craziest thing to me, though, is that
it's heartbreaking. Listen,
it is. I can't even put it into words. Like, I sat on my couch and I stared at the TV in total disbelief. My daughter comes down the stairs and she's like, "Daddy, are you okay?"
No,
I said, "Not really." She gives me a hug and says, "Better luck next year." I said, "Yo,
damn." I was like, "You're doing it, boom, boom." Better luck next year.
Like that was a gut punch, but it's like I wasn't gonna be mad all night, like sitting there, you know. I was hot. Like, I couldn't really talk.
It was awful, because like that was just like, I just knew like in the second half, like, all right, they're gonna calm down a little bit, get back to
like Ravens. I thought T-Pain was supposed to set the shit off.
Nah, he was just there to entertain you motherfuckers.
That's it. My God, bro. Like, I can't believe it. I'm still sitting here like, this shit is absolutely positively crazy. I don't understand this. I'm going to be asking myself, what the fuck happened?
Did you rewatch the game?
No. I was watching the news this morning, and I went to my DVR to watch a movie with I taped a movie and I wanted to watch it. And I'm sitting there, they're showing the Ravens cleaning out their locker on the news. I'm like, all right, I can't do it. They had Lamar Jackson's cleats sitting in his fucking locker. I'm like, nah.
They made it like a goddamn memorial. Broke your heart again. You was up there crying early this morning, watching the news, crying.
And then
his cleats in the locker room
when
like
I'm standing in line at my daughter's school to get registered to go in.
Right.
And then one of the dads that knows me, he's like, "You want to talk about it?" I'm like, "Nope."
Damn.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And
I mean, that's tough, man.
It's tough. It was crazy tough. I'm looking at the my phone went off this morning. Let's watch a recap of Patrick Mahomes on his way to his fifth Super Bowl in his 6 years of being a starter. Like, you bastard. Like I got Bleacher Report reminding me. I got ESPN reminding me. I turned off all my notifications. I got my mom on my post last night calling Patrick Mahomes a punk ass bitch. I'm like, oh, I know it's over when my mom starts calling people names and shit. I couldn't do it. I'm still shocked that people are watching this show because I'm like, I don't even know what to say no more, Bruce. We're an hour and 12 into this, and we still got faithful people, man. I want to go through some of these comments, Bruce, because it's been popping off on the side of my screen over here. Holy shit!
I wish I could see him. Damn, it's awful, bro.
I got my boy Tony Living. That's my boy from work. He's a Commanders fan. He still says they're the Redskins or whatever. That man's been on my line since the start of the show. Hey, Tony, I ain't ignoring you, but I'll talk to you later, bro. Like, you're killing me tonight. Like, I'm reading some of this shit. It's like diverting my attention. You know, a couple of the kids I coached, Toby. Honestly, the game made me sick. Toby, if you're still watching, or even if you catch it later, yeah.
Craig, I got a question.
What's up? I can't hear you, bro. All right. He's having a little bit of technical difficulty. Yeah, Bo. I feel you, brother. Letting it all out. That shit is wild, my man. That shit is absolutely wild. I'm like at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm back, bro. I got a question for you, right?
What's up?
Actually, two questions. So when the Ravens when they had my boy Steven there that one year when he got his ass when he was all beat the fuck up, y'all went 13-3. That wasn't a first round move.
That was a second round move. No, it might have been first round. Yeah, we scored 3 points against them bitch ass Colts in the playoffs.
What round was that?
I think it might have been the divisional round.
Okay.
But our boy Ray Gambrill, he commented. That was this.
My man Ray.
I'm more upset about them going out like bitches. They're another coming team and bitch them. And yeah,
it was nasty from the start, Ray.
See, that's you know what? My man put it very elegantly, for real. But they went out like some fucking whores last night. I don't want to be up here cussing and calling them names and shit. But yo, you went into San Francisco on Christmas night
and went crazy.
You punched San Francisco in the mouth. Detroit comes to your town. The two teams from last night. Detroit comes to your town. You put up almost 40 on them. Miami comes to town. You put up almost 60 on them. You punched the Texans in the mouth and you knocked them out in the first series of the second half last week. And this is how you go out?
It's nasty, man.
This is how the season ends. 10 points. I felt like I was watching the 2000 Super Bowl, or not the 2000 Super Bowl. I felt like I was watching the 2006 playoff game all over again. I'm sitting there looking at this shit. I'm like, we are not scoring, and the defense is doing their damn job. Here goes Sam bootlicking again.
What'd he say? Oh, I can see it now. Oh, no, I can't. I'm lying.
You want to pull it up? I'm pulling it up.
My man saying, yeah, they didn't play.
Look, we know Ray and Mike are ballers anyway. Yeah,
They
Sam,
didn't
I know
play.
Ray ain't lying. Hey, I've never been hit harder at practice than when Mike's ironhead ass hit me in in Oklahoma drills. I was
Jesus.
ready to play basketball at one point because you know, but anyway.
So
Yeah,
let me.
we went out like chumps, bro.
So you know more about this than I do. What's the plan for next year? Like, what's going on with the draft? Where y'all looking at with the draft? What do
I
you
think
think they need to do?
I think it all depends, Ruse, on who they keep. If they rework Marlon's contract and he stays, I think you can hold off on getting a cornerback in the first round for another year. I think you can wait until that kid Travis Hunter comes out of the draft next year. If you cut Ronnie Stanley, I think you need to go get the best offensive tackle available at the end of the first round. If not, you might have to trade up and get a top 10 pick, because at that point they might need to do what they did with Hollywood with Bateman. Contract year, trade him to another team, and get you a top 10 offensive tackle. It might have to go down like that. I mean, you're going to need to find another big body wide receiver.
Right.
You're going to have to find another competent inside linebacker to compete with the Simpson kid. You're going to have to find another cornerback in the mid rounds. I mean, and the thing is, they got to stop drafting these kids that are injury prone or projects. You got to go find dudes that you can plug and play almost immediately. And then when it comes to the offensive line, there's a chance that everybody but Linderbaum isn't back next year. If you cut Stanley or trade Stanley, you're going to need a new left tackle. You're going to need a new right tackle for Morgan Moses. You're going to need a new right guard because I don't think they're going to be able to afford to bring back Kevin Zeitler.
You think they're going to get rid of Morgan Moses?
It's about money at this point. It ain't about skill or production. They got 25 free agents. They got 7 draft picks, and they got $14 million in cap space. So it's a numbers game. You're going to have to make some difficult decisions. You ain't going to be able to bring back Stone. You ain't going to be able to bring back Queen. You might not be able to bring back Matabige, depending on what you do. You're not going to be able to bring back Jadeveon Clowney or Van Noy. You're not going to bring back.
What would you like to see them do with Matabike, whatever his name is, the lineman?
See, I'm torn because he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league, but he didn't get to be this way until it was his contract year.
Oh, so you think that it's a trick bag? You don't want to get
it could be a trick bag where he was trying to get the bag and he might not end up getting doing what he's got to do. So to me, if you pay him $26 million a year the next 4 years, now you're looking at having a $20 million linebacker, a $20 million corner, and a $25 million defensive tackle, a $53 million quarterback, a $21 million left tackle, an $8 or $9 million right tackle. And if the cap only goes up so much, you still got to pay your draft picks. You still got to fill your roster out. You don't want to go into this situation where a third of your team is undrafted free agents and guys on veteran deals that other teams cut because of injury or age. We did that this year, and they caught lightning in a bottle. If you call Jadeveon Clowney's agent tomorrow and say, let's bring him back for another 1 year, $2.5 million deal, bro, they're going to laugh at us.
You think so?
He had 10 sacks this year. He's 32 years old.
This year.
He went crazy.
He went crazy. I was really happy for him, man.
So was I. Because he did this year what he should have been doing all along.
Yeah, I was happy for him.
Van Noy. We pulled Van Noy off the couch in week 5. He comes in and gets 8 or 9 sacks. He ain't coming back on the veteran minimum. OBJ. If he comes back, his cap hit's cut in half. But do you think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to play in Baltimore for $5 million?
Hell no.
Do you think? Because I don't think that's going to happen. He's not taking a pay cut. He showed that he can be a valuable wide receiver 3. I don't care about his stats. That dude can still play to a degree. Somebody's going to pay him because he's OBJ, just like we did this year. It might not be us.
Yeah. I think me and you was getting into it about that. I was telling you about that more. I was like, man, he's a little injury prone, but
And he ended up
still
being a little injury prone, but he
he
came in
still can
clutch
play
in a
though.
couple areas.
He still
And
can
then
play.
Ray just commented that we drafted Voorhees knowing that he was going to need a year. I'm going to see what Voorhees can do also, Ray, but at the same time, he's a offensive lineman coming off of a major knee injury that he lost his entire senior season to.
But you just
I,
said stop getting these injury prone guys.
but we drafted him in the 7th round last year, knowing he tore his ACL during the 22 season. So, yeah, we got to stop drafting injury prone guys. And at this point, are you going to bring Ben Cleveland back to compete for right guard? You're not going to be bringing back Mustafa. He's probably going to get a deal to be a starting center somewhere. He's pretty good. It's a lot of moving variables. Who's going to be in the secondary next year? You're now going to have to rely on Pepe Williams and Jalen Armour Davis, who haven't been healthy in 2 years. You're going to have to rely on Ardarius Washington, who missed the entire year this year, to back up Marcus Williams because Geno is going to get paid handsomely somewhere else to be a starting free safety. Geno ain't coming back on no sucker deal.
These guys gotta get that money, man.
They're going to get the bag. This was their chance to get a Super Bowl. Now they're going to go get paid.
That's terrible. Had to go up. When you breaking it down like this with all these contracts and people you guys try to hold on to or move around with, like to really go out like that is just that was terrible.
It was. There's no other way to put it. You can spin it any which way you want. There's a lot of blame to go around for yesterday.
Yeah.
But now you're about to see the consequences be paid at an extreme level. Because now you're going to lose your defensive coordinator in the next couple of days. You're probably going to lose a couple of your position coaches that go with him wherever he goes. Right. T. Martin is going to be an offensive coordinator in this league. He could be the offensive coordinator for Mike McDonald wherever he goes. Anthony Weaver is going to be a head coach or a defensive coordinator next year, whether it's here or somewhere else. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you do it. None of that matters at all. The fallout from this game is going to be astronomical. And if people think we're going to be right back in the mix next year, we might, because you still got Lamar Jackson. Regular season Lamar Jackson is an amazing Lamar Jackson. But now, other than Zay, Zay's not a secret anymore. Yeah. Andrews, a healthy Andrews isn't a secret. Isaiah Likely's not a secret anymore. So now you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out who's playing behind them guys.
You know what's funny, though? You know what's real funny? I just thought of it. You realize Peyton Manning did like kind of the same shit as Lamar Jackson. He was in the playoffs. He was breaking everybody's hearts when he was getting his ass kicked by Brady. But those snow games, raining and all that. You be looking at Peyton like, oh, God. Peyton throw an interception too, break your heart.
We don't have Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne coming to catch passes next year.
We don't, but Peyton was losing too. It took him a minute. Took him a minute. I think we just expecting Lamar to do everything because he does everything right then and there. Then when he fuck up, it's fuck Lamar. And then when he do great, it's thank you, Lamar.
And
they asked him to do a lot. He does. Nobody can do that shit he does.
Like, nobody can. And I hear you, Ruse. I hear you.
Nobody can do it. People numbers can, like, people's stats can fuck your brain up. Like, look at Justin Herbert. Like, motherfuckers losers. They lose. He fucks up out there. But his stats look crazy as a quarterback. Lamar just do that shit in a different way.
When you look at somebody like the Chargers and then you look at the Ravens, in the last 5 years, the Chargers haven't been nowhere near as close as we have.
They haven't. But look at the weapons he got.
Right. But that's their frustration out there. They're not going far with Allen and Williams and Eckler and Garrett Everett. They're not going far with that. But now you're looking at a team now where half your pass catching room is going to be new again next year. You may not see Bateman come back. If I'm Bateman, do I really want to come back to this shit?
Think Bateman going to slide here?
I think so. They're going to be in a perpetual state of drafting wide receivers high and getting rid of them in their contract year to garner a draft pick to do it all over again. It's kind of like 4 years and you graduate as a Ravens wide receiver. The only wide receiver that stuck around longer than 4 years was Torrey in recent memory. Hollywood, we got him out of here year 4.
Got him out of here quick.
Out of here quick.
I'm out of there.
Coming off of a 1,000-yard season, got him out of here. Now there's a lot of variables that people just aren't. And I know it's a little bit raw still, and the emotions are still running high, and people love this team, and I love this team, but doing this show, I got to be objective, and I got to look at it from a standpoint like 25 out of 53 might not be here next year.
Yeah, business wise,
this was your opportunity to do what you had to do, because it's not going to get easier. The AFC North is the hardest division to play in football. 3 teams from the division made the playoffs this year. The Steelers made it with Mason Rudolph. The Browns made it with Joe Flacco. When they get their quarterback situations straightened out next year, it's gonna be difficult. And then if you add in a healthy Joe Burrow, it's gonna be tough. No matter what they do in the draft, you're going to see a lot of young dudes. You're going to see a lot of dudes that have not been here before. And the pressure's only going to get tougher on Lamar, because now Lamar's going to be getting into the area where he's going to be 28 years old next year. He's not going to be in his early 20s. He's not on his rookie deal. And now you are going to still expect him to do everything that he was doing with a completely new offensive line.
Yeah, he ain't going to give him no slack. He going to get blamed again.
That comes with the position.
It does.
Because look what's happening to your boy Jalen right now.
That shit out there is that shit a little different, man.
But that's what I'm saying. He got paid. They're up there geeking about that 10-7, losing 6 out of your last 7.
That was, and the way they was losing was nasty. That shit is
right.
Crazy.
I've seen a lot of Philly fans online ruining Jason Kelce's final season on Jalen.
I mean, Jason Kelce, he was getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bounce 2 years ago.
Super Bowl. Oh, damn, yeah. 2 years ago.
But
he's been there. I mean, at the end of the day, these quarterbacks not falling off trees. Some of this talent we've been getting lately.
And we're entering an era now where there's such a huge disparity between the elite quarterbacks and the mid-tier. Look at the last generation we had, where it was Brady, Manning, Aaron Rodgers, but you still had Brett Favre hanging around. You still had Roethlisberger. You still had Breeze. You still had Rivers. You still had Eli. You still had, all these quarterbacks that
you got
they're still good. But now, after Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, and Hurts, it's a drop. It's a huge drop. I mean, you could throw Dak up there too if you want, but if you look around the league, half these guys wouldn't be starting 15 years ago.
Nah, you're right.
The quarterback play is,
but they making this quarterback shit a little bit different now. You gotta be able to move around a little bit too. Back then, they was a whole lot of moving. They still was trying to hold on to that. But, people like when the motherfuckers running around, running for his life, throwing balls on the run. They like that. They want to see that. So we're going to give them a chance now. The game is just fast.
It is. And I just hope Ravens fans understand that this is about to be a very long couple weeks, because it's still going to be raw. I have to talk myself and psych myself up for the simple fact that I still got a show to do. I still got to report on what's going on. When Mike McDonald gets hired by somebody, I'm going to come back on here and talk about that impact all over again. And then you got baseball starting March Madness next month. And then you start, then the draft process starts in April. Then you got to start looking at who the free agency in March. You got, it's going to hurt.
It's about to get exciting though.
Right. It's about to get exciting.
About to see what DeCosta's about to do. You about to see what he's about to do. This healing is gonna take a second. Like, it's crazy how
because it was there. Yeah. It was there for the taking. Lamar should be sitting at a podium talking about his first Super Bowl appearance right today.
This
But
they just said
instead,
it wasn't the
he had
year
to
for
talk
that.
about how we're going to be back next year.
They said it wasn't a year for that.
And the thing is, he's gonna continue to do what he does, but this team isn't going to be as strong around him in terms of talent. Eric DeCosta's got his work cut out for him because you got a lot of guys that you got to bring back or that you want to bring back, and you don't got a whole lot of money. And then you're going to have to make some difficult decisions about some fan favorite veterans. There's a chance Marlon Humphrey's wearing another uniform next year. There's a chance Ronnie Stanley's played his last game as a Raven. There's a chance that you're not going to see 44 lining up, at cornerback. He might be wearing a different jersey next year. It's going to look crazy.
What's going on with the running back situation? It's like 7 of y'all.
That's something we haven't even talked about. JK, if he comes back here to prove it deal to get paid next year, but that now you're talking about a running back that's under 25 that had a torn ACL in college, a torn ACL in the pros, and now he has a torn Achilles that he's coming back from.
That's a lot.
We won't see Keaton until next October, if he even comes back, because that was a nasty injury.
You talking about next year October or this year October?
I'm saying this October coming up.
Okay.
I keep on saying it for next season, but then is Gus Edwards?
I was about to ask you,
is he going to come back? Is he going to come back and sign a deal to stay with the Ravens, knowing that they rode him during the regular season, and when it was time to lean on him, you gave him the ball 3 times in the AFC Championship game. No running back is going to want to put themselves through that.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot. It's fucked up.
And people are saying like, oh, Derrick Henry's a free agent running back. Josh Jacobs is available. Saquon's available. Them dudes aren't coming here for pennies on the dollar. Now, if we would have won the Super Bowl this year and they would have had a chance to run it back next year, you're talking about a whole different story. But game's changing. Our window's closed. They're going to have to reopen it somehow, but it's closed.
So it sounds like you're not expecting much next year.
I'm not. And maybe that's my emotions weighing me down right now. But I'm looking at it objectively and realistically, Ruse.
Yeah, if that's what's really going on, then I guess you guys gotta get prepared for it. Like, I don't know what the fuck the Eagles about to do. We grabbed 2 coaches or whatever, but to me, that's the fun part, to see what's about to happen. Like, we're not going, but like, I still gotta say, like Ray said, the way they lost was just that shit. I mean, I know I said what I said about my conspiracy theory, but it just didn't look. It was awful. It was like, I'm like, what are we watching right here?
Right.
What are we What are the people watching?
Ruse, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, though, Ruse, for stepping in and being my wingman tonight. You talk a lot of ball, and even though you're not a Ravens, diehard fan, you still know what's going on because you watch every week.
Yeah,
by choice, by force more than by choice because of the TV network. But thank you for hopping on, bro. I always appreciate you. You're one of my dudes. It's all love. I'll holler at you later, bro.
All right, bro.